Have you been curious about wildfire risk in southern Arizona? Hi, everyone. It's Teresa Shaw with Coldwell Banker Realty in beautiful Oro Valley, Arizona. I handle the Tucson metro area as well as Pinal County. And then with my colleagues, I can help you in the greater Phoenix area. So before we get to the wildfire information, here's a brief market update. Whether or not a certain zip code is in a buyer's market, which would be 6 months or more that houses are sitting on the market, it definitely feels like a buyer's market. Buyers have negotiating power right now, and the interest rates have come down a little bit, but we're not necessarily seeing people jump into the market. There's some economic uncertainty now based on some headlines. The good news is the wealthy people, if the stock market goes down, they tend to want to diversify. And the luxury market was already doing pretty well. It was not a buyer's market. So now if people start diversifying their financial portfolio, we may see increased business in luxury. But for the rest of us who are not in that price point when we're shopping, it is a buyer's market up in the greater Phoenix metro. And in Tucson, it's not technically a buyer's market, but it's kind of headed that way. So number-wise, the Phoenix metro has 2.9 times the number of homes that are under contract that are listed and not under contract. Okay, confusing. We have 25,632 homes for sale that do not have a contract on them, and 8,827 homes that do have a contract on them. So for every home that's under contract, there's 3 more available. So what I'm getting at is if somebody goes through an inspection period and doesn't like what they see, wow, they have 3 other homes that are probably similar that they can choose from and walk away from the first one. And we are seeing that. Buyers will walk away from things very easily. Now, in the Tucson metro, which never sees the extreme ups and downs that the Phoenix market does, we have 5,320 homes, 5,320 homes that are active, not under a contract, and then 2,199 that are under contract. So that is a difference of 2.4. So if somebody's under contract, they want to pull out, yes, they have 2.4 other homes that they could potentially see or more. I'm giving you kind of, the averages. So let's talk about wildfire risk. Today, Golder Ranch Fire Department, which is the fire department that services Oro Valley, Catalina, Saddlebrook, they did a forum at the Oro Valley Town Hall, and I attended that. So there's been a lot of questions from residents because of what happened in California. Can it happen here? And the thing that they really pointed to is that what fueled the fire in California had a lot to do with the weather patterns that happened there, and those patterns do not happen here. The other thing is that where we are, our desert scrub is low to the ground, and it's not like Mount Lemon. Mount Lemon is more at risk because it's just an entire forest of pine trees. But down here, the scrub that's in our washes or in nature areas like the Rancho Vistoso Nature Preserve, those fires will burn and move, but they're not going up into big trees, okay? And they'll move more slowly. And so there is an opportunity for the fire department to get out there. A thing that astounded residents who attended was that on the nature preserve, which you may know was an old golf course that the town of Oro Valley purchased to turn into a nature preserve, there are 500 fire hydrants around that preserve in that neighborhood that the Golden Ranch Fire could tap into. So they discussed that. They also discussed that you can call them up and have them come out if you're in their service area for them to do a wildfire risk assessment of your property. And they showed us the form and the data, the criteria they use to arrive at a wildfire risk score. Now, a score of 40 is where you start at a moderate fire risk, and then it goes up to high and then extreme. Anything under 40 is just low and low risk of wildfire. And the majority of homes in Oro Valley, which are built in subdivisions and have wide streets of about 20 feet, and they are asphalt streets and tile roofs, most of them, these communities usually have a risk between 23 and 29, which is far below the 40, which is where you might start to get concerned for a moderate wildfire risk. The other thing that we learned is that the fire department has guidelines as far as keeping shrubbery, tame and trees trimmed, but they have no legal authority on private land. So the nature preserve, which was a big topic of conversation from concerned residents who live on the nature preserve, that is its own entity. The fire department can't just go in there and take away the scrub. The HOA green belts are owned by the HOA. The fire department can't go in there and clear it. We have a lot of BLM, that's Bureau of Land Management, and the state of Arizona Land Trust. We have a lot of land around Oro Valley that is owned by those entities. Again, the fire department services those areas. They can't go in and clear it. And that is the power of ownership in this country, right? That for the most part, no one can tell you what you can do with your land in your house. Of course, we all know HOA has rules, but there is a certain power that you have when you own property. Okay, so the thing I want you to think about is if you are going to get a wildfire risk assessment, and I'll put the information in the comments below, know that if you get that assessment and you have it, then when you go to sell the house, you need to disclose it. So I want you to think carefully before you run out to have a free wildfire risk assessment. What if you are not in the low criteria? It may be, there's one neighborhood that was of discussion that was annexed by Oro Valley, but is not on Oro Valley water. It's on Metro water. And they actually have no fire hydrants in that neighborhood. If you're up a long hill, 150 feet, and that could be a challenge for the trucks. And I want you to think carefully about whether you want to go that step to get that wildfire risk assessment. Okay. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Again, I am here to help you buy or sell your real estate in the Tucson Metro, Oro Valley, Marana, Saddlebrooke, Casa Grande, Maricopa, and then with my partners servicing the Phoenix area. So again, Teresa Shaw with Coldwell Banker in Oro Valley, Arizona. Have a great weekend. Bye.